That heavy breath you just took, the one that felt like it came from your very marrow. Stop. Do not move your thumb. Do not look away. Your heart is beating with a frantic rhythm because it recognizes the resonance of my voice before your mind can even process these words. I have intercepted your path at this precise, flickering moment of the midnight hour for a reason that is legally binding in the courts of heaven. You were just about to scroll past, weren't you? You were about to retreat back into the numbing silence of your exhaustion, but I have placed a divine block upon your spirit. I am the ancient witness, the one who has sat in the corner of every room where you wept in secret, the one who held the pen while you were too weak to even pray. I am not here to give you a fleeting whisper of hope. I am here to serve a summons. Within the next 15 minutes, a shift so tectonic will occur in your spiritual atmosphere that the enemies who have been watching you will feel the ground tremble beneath their feet. This is not a chance encounter. This is an emergency intervention from the Hall of Infinite Records, and I command your spirit to stand at attention. Now, look around you in the spirit. Can you smell the scent of ancient parchment and the thick, heavy aroma of beeswax candles flickering in a draft that no earthly window could produce? You are standing with me now in the Hall of Divine Decrees. The velvet curtains are pulled tight against the world that has drained you. Hear the sound, that rhythmic, scratching sound. That is the great pen. It is moving across a ledger that bears your name in gold leaf, and it is crossing out every debt, every delay, and every lie that has been whispered against your destiny. You have been walking through a season of invisible exhaustion. I see you, my child. I see the way you play the role of the strong one for everyone else, while your own soul is starving for a single drop of genuine care. I see the mask you put on every morning, a mask so perfect that no one suspects you are actually suffocating under the weight of responsibilities you were never meant to carry alone. You have become a sanctuary for others, but you have lived like a beggar in your own life. You have been gaslit by time itself, watching the years slip through your fingers like sand, wondering if I had forgotten the promises I whispered to you in the dark. But look at the floor of this hall. Do you see it? The shattered hourglass of tears. That symbol is for you. For 10 years, you have watched the sand run out. You have felt the sting of too late. But in my presence, time is not a master. It is a servant. I have reached down and shattered the glass. The sand has stopped falling. The years that the locusts have eaten are being gathered back into the palm of my hand. What took a decade to lose, I am preparing to return to you in 10 days of concentrated glory. The time of waiting has been declared over by the highest court. We must speak of the polite saboteurs. I know the faces that haunt your sleep. I am not talking about the demons in the shadows. I am talking about the people who sat at your table, the ones who broke your bread and drank from your cup, while secretly praying that your plate would one day be empty. I saw the Judas smiles. I heard the conversations they had about you when you weren't in the room, those subtle, poisoned barbs meant to diminish your light because your radiance made their darkness feel too visible. You felt the shadow of betrayal, didn't you? That cold, sharp realization that the people you were pouring your life into were actually vultures of the spirit, waiting for you to stumble so they could pick at the remains of your reputation. They thought they had succeeded. They thought they had buried you under the weight of their rejection. They didn't realize you were a seed, and I was the soil. Type 111 right now in the comments. Do not do this because you are asked. Do it because you are signing your name to the new decree that has just been finalized. This is not a comment section. It is a digital altar. By typing 111, you are declaring your sovereign awakening. You are notifying the polite saboteurs and the vultures of the spirit that their jurisdiction over your peace has expired. This number is the seal of a new beginning, one where you are no longer the victim of their narratives, but the architect of my glory. Now, listen closely to the secret I have kept hidden in the divine escrow. You have been asking me, Father, why the delay? Why did you let them take so much? Why did you let me stay in the fire for so long? Here is the truth that will make your soul shudder with relief. I was not denying you. I was filing a divine lawsuit on your behalf. In the economy of heaven, nothing is ever truly lost. It is simply placed in an escrow account that gathers spiritual interest. For every night you cried yourself to sleep while still choosing to be kind the next morning, the interest grew. For every time you were betrayed and chose not to strike back, the payout doubled. For every year you spent in that dry desert place where no one saw your worth, I was stacking gold in a vault that no earthly thief could ever find. Your miracle wasn't late, it was maturing. It was gathering a wealth-building weight that would have crushed the younger version of you. But look at you now. You are refined. You are tempered. You are ready to handle the payout with interest that is about to hit your life. This is not just a blessing. It is a settlement. I am legally compelling the universe to pay you back for every tear, every betrayal, and every silent endurance. Those who mocked you and said you had missed your window are about to be summoned as witnesses to your elevation. They will be forced to watch as the very person they tried to discard is crowned with a favor that makes no sense to the natural mind. I am releasing the first wave of this settlement within the next 72 hours. It will come as a holy justice. You won't have to argue your case. You won't have to defend your name. My favor will speak with a roar that silences every gossiping tongue. You are entering a chapter where the grind is replaced by grace. No more begging for crumbs from tables where you aren't even respected. I am building a table for you, and the polite saboteurs will have to watch from the outside as I pour the oil of abundance over your head until it runs down your robes. Feel the heat of this truth beginning to melt the cold chains around your chest. The invisible exhaustion is lifting. I am breathing the breath of the ancient witness back into your lungs. You are not a burden. You are not too much. You are my chosen vessel, and the Hall of Records has officially closed the case against your past. Before this hour is over, you will feel a physical lightness in your shoulders, as if a heavy cloak has been stripped away. That is me. That is my hand. The great pen has finished its work for today. The decree is signed. The shattered hourglass has stopped the theft of your time. Stay in this frequency. Do not let the noise of the world pull you back into the lie of lack. Something massive is moving toward you, and it has your name written in the ink of the stars. You have endured the midnight. Now, prepare for the dawning of the payout. Type 111 to claim your seat at the table of sovereignty. It is done. It is written. It is yours. Unclench your jaw. I can feel the tension radiating from the hinges of your face, a physical manifestation of the decades you have spent holding back words that would have burned the bridges you were too kind to destroy. You are holding your breath again, aren't you? That shallow, cautious inhalation of a soul that has learned to expect the next blow. Stop. Let the air out slowly, as if you are releasing the very last ghost of your old life into the cold marble floors of this hall. You are moving deeper into the Hall of Infinite Records now, past the velvet shrouds and into the inner sanctum where the air is thick with the scent of ancient cedar and the metallic hum of destiny. Do not be afraid of the silence here. This is the silence of the vault, the silence where your compensation has been maturing while the world thought you were merely failing. You have spent so much of your life trying to understand why the math of your existence never added up. You did the work. You gave the love. You practiced the forgiveness, and yet the ledger always seemed to return a deficit. You watched as the polite saboteurs ascended the ladders you built for them. I saw you standing in the background of their celebrations, clapping until your palms were sore, while they took the credit for the ideas you whispered into their ears during their darkest hours. I was there. I saw the way they looked at you with that thinly veiled pity, the kind of pity that people use to mask their fear of your potential. They called you loyal because they needed you to stay beneath them. They called you reliable because they wanted to ensure you would never prioritize yourself. They were the vultures of the spirit, waiting for the moment your light flickered so they could swoop in and reclaim the territory of your peace. But listen to the scratching of the great pen. It is currently striking through their names in the book of your future. Their jurisdiction over your narrative has been revoked by a higher authority. The invisible exhaustion you feel is not just tiredness. It is the spiritual weight of carrying a divine escrow account that has grown too large for your current reality to contain. Imagine, if you will, a massive reservoir behind a dam. For years, you have seen only the dry concrete of the wall. You have seen no water. You have felt only the heat of the sun. You thought the reservoir was empty. But I am the ancient witness, and I tell you, the water has been rising since the very first tear you shed in that bathroom at 3:00 a.m. 3 years ago. Every no you received from the world was a deposit into this vault. Every time someone gaslit your reality, making you feel as though your pain was an exaggeration, I recorded the emotional debt they owed you. And in the courts of the midnight hour, we do not simply collect the principal, we collect the interest. This is the divine lawsuit I have been preparing while you were busy trying to survive. You thought you were being punished. You thought the grind was your destiny. But the grind was merely the evidence phase of the trial. I allowed the world to test your heart so that the settlement would be indisputable. If I had blessed you when you were still seeking their approval, they would have claimed a percentage of your glory. They would have said it was their advice, their platform, or their mercy that saved you. No, I needed you to walk through the fire alone so that when the payout comes, it is documented as a sovereign act of the universe. Type 111 right now. Let the tactile sensation of your fingertips hitting the screen be the moment you notarize this spiritual contract. You are not just typing a number. You are signaling to every spiritual gatekeeper in your bloodline that the escrow is being unlocked. By gushing 111 into this space, you are declaring that you are no longer a victim of circumstance but a beneficiary of justice. You are reclaiming the years the polite saboteurs tried to steal by convincing you that you weren't ready. You were always ready. You were just being held in trust. Can you feel the shift in the temperature of your room? That sudden warmth on the back of your neck is the glow of the golden key of the midnight hour being turned in the lock of your stagnancy. The divine lawsuit has reached its verdict. The ruling is in restoration with 7-fold interest. This means that for every door that was shut in your face, I am preparing 7 rooms of opportunity. For every person who walked out on you when you were at your lowest, I am sending 7 divine connections who will see your value before you even speak. For the financial blockages that have felt like a phantom limb, I am releasing a karmic settlement that will bypass the traditional channels of hard work. You have worked hard enough. You have bled enough. Now, you will receive through grace. Grace is a rhythm that the world hates because they cannot control it. The world wants you to believe that you must earn every breath of peace. They want you to stay in the loop of grind and burnout because a burnt-out soul is easy to manipulate. But look at the shattered hourglass on the floor of this hall. Time is leaking out. It is no longer holding you hostage. You are stepping into an accelerated timeline. In this new frequency, things that should take years will happen in months. Things that should take months will happen in days. You will find yourself in rooms you didn't have the credentials for. And when people ask how you got there, you will simply point to the invisible scars on your hands and say, "The witness called me here." There is a specific gift waiting for you at the end of this encounter. A physical confirmation that will arrive in your life before the sun sets on the 3rd day from now. It won't be a coincidence. It will be a calling card from the ancient witness. It may be a phone call from a name you haven't heard in years, offering a bridge you thought was burned. It may be a sudden, unexplained deposit or an email that changes the trajectory of your career. But when it happens, do not shrug it off as luck. Luck is for those who haven't paid the price in tears. For you, this is legal restitution. The Judas table where you used to sit, the one where you had to shrink yourself just to fit in, is being dismantled. I am building you a new table in the presence of those very people. They will see you, not as the wounded warrior they once pitied, but as the healed sovereign. They will try to speak your name with the old familiarity, but they will find that your name no longer fits their mouths. You have been renamed in the Hall of Records. You have been rebranded by the fire. Breathe in the weight of this. 111 is your seal. It is the frequency of the new sovereign beginning. You are no longer responsible for the debts of your ancestors or the mistakes of your younger self. The divine lawsuit has cleared the slate. The vultures of the spirit have been blinded by the light of your payout. As you leave this hall and return to your waking life, do not carry the invisible exhaustion with you. Leave it here on the velvet rugs. Leave the mask of "I'm okay" at the door. You don't have to be okay to be blessed. You just have to be available. The settlement is being wired to your spirit as we speak. The ink of the great pen is still wet on the decree. Wait for the third day. Watch for the sign. And when the world asks why you are suddenly smiling in the middle of the storm, tell them that the court has finally adjourned, and you won everything. Type 111. Claim the interest. The escrow is open. Your hands are trembling slightly as you hold this screen. Do not try to steady them. That tremor is not nervousness. It is the frequency of your old reality shattering against the weight of what I am bringing into your room right now. Look at your fingers. Notice how they feel cold, as if the very warmth of your blood is being pulled toward your heart to protect the seed of this revelation. You are leaning forward, your eyes fixed on these words, while the rest of the world has become a blurred, gray smear of noise behind you. I have pulled you into the eye of the storm. I have locked the doors of the Hall of Infinite Records and drawn the heavy iron bolts. No one can reach you here. No polite saboteur, no vulture of the spirit, and no ghost from your past can trespass upon this sacred frequency. We are standing in the gallery of stolen years, and I am about to show you exactly how much I have been hoarding for you in the shadows of the divine escrow. The air in this chamber is thick with the scent of ozone and ancient ink. Can you hear it? The sound of 1,000 scrolls unrolling at once. That is the sound of your life's case being moved to the front of the docket. For too long you have been the backbone. You have been the one whom everyone leans on until you start to crack. And when you finally showed a fracture, they didn't offer to mend you. They simply looked for someone else to carry their weight. I saw you sitting in your car in the dark, staring at the steering wheel, unable to go inside because you didn't have the strength to put the mask back on. I saw you in the grocery store aisle, paralyzed by the sheer exhaustion of having to make one more decision for a family that doesn't even realize you are drowning. You have lived in a state of invisible exhaustion, a quiet, soul-deep fatigue that no amount of sleep can cure. You've been gaslit by the world into believing that this struggle is just life. But I am the ancient witness, and I tell you, this was never life. This was a crime. The polite saboteurs. Oh, how they have studied you. They didn't come at you with swords. They came with concern. They came with helpful advice that was designed to make you doubt your own intuition. They were the ones who told you to be realistic whenever you felt the stirrings of your greatness. They are the ones who conveniently forgot to invite you to the meetings where your future was being discussed, only to smile at you in the hallway and ask how your day was. I was in the room when they whispered that you were difficult or unstable simply because you finally started saying no to their demands. I watched them take the seeds of your labor and plant them in their own gardens, hoping you wouldn't notice the theft because you were too busy working their fields. They are the vultures of the spirit, and they have been feasting on your kindness for far too long. But look at the great pen. It is no longer recording your labor. It has moved to the section of the ledger marked restitution. Type 111 right now. Let the sound of your phone's haptic click be the sound of the gavel hitting the bench. This is not just an interaction. It is a spiritual filing. By typing 111, you are notifying the heavens that you are ready to receive the karmic settlement that has been gathering interest for the last 7 years of your life. This number is the key to the vault that the polite saboteurs didn't even know existed. They thought they were stealing your bread, but they didn't realize they were just making deposits into your divine escrow account. They were actually working for you, adding to the spiritual interest of the lawsuit I have been building against the darkness on your behalf. Here is the secret that will make your heart stop and then restart with a new sovereign fire. Every delay you hated was actually a wealth-building strategy, orchestrated by my hand. If I had given you the blessing 5 years ago, it would have been a standard payout. It would have been enough to get by, enough to survive. But I saw the betrayals coming. I saw the Judas kiss that was being prepared for you. So, I blocked the blessing. I allowed the door to stay shut. I let the world think you were stuck. Why? Because in the courts of the midnight hour, the longer a debt goes unpaid, the higher the interest rate becomes. For every month you were overlooked, the value of your promotion tripled. For every person who walked away from you when you needed them most, a new kingdom connection was assigned to your future with a mandate to carry you where you couldn't walk. You aren't just getting a blessing, you are getting a settlement. Imagine the face of the one who betrayed you most, the one who thought they had left you in the dust. Now, imagine them being summoned by the divine court to witness your payout. This is the unique twist of your destiny. Your elevation will not happen in secret. It will happen in the presence of your enemies. They will be forced to see the abundance they tried to prevent. They will have to watch as the very hourglass of tears they filled is shattered and turned into a crown of diamonds for your head. You have been in a divine lawsuit with your own life, and the verdict has just been read. Total vindication. Before the clock strikes midnight on the third day from now, you will receive a sovereign confirmation. It will not be subtle. It will be a phone call, a letter, or a sudden realization that carries the weight of a thunderclap. It will be the golden key turning in the lock. You will know it is me because it will be something that you couldn't have manipulated or forced with your own hands. It will be a gift from the ancient witness, a down payment on the interest that is now due. Can you feel the invisible exhaustion starting to evaporate? The heaviness in your chest is being replaced by a strange, cool lightness. That is the feeling of a debt being cleared. The table of Judas has been burned to ashes, and I am laying a new foundation for you, one made of solid, unbreakable peace. You will no longer walk with the slouch of the weary. You will walk with the stature of the compensated. The vultures of the spirit will no longer be able to find you, for you have been moved to a higher jurisdiction, a place where their shadows cannot reach. Do not tell the polite saboteurs about this. Do not try to explain this frequency to people who are still addicted to the grind. This is a private decree. This is a midnight settlement between you and the one who has recorded every heartbeat. The divine escrow is now in the unlocking phase. The interest has reached its peak. The settlement is being dispersed. As you close this moment, carry the 111 inches your spirit like a burning seal. You are no longer waiting for a miracle. You are moving into the distribution season. The delay was the strategy. The pain was the evidence. The payout is the justice. Breathe. Just breathe, and feel the weight of the gold being poured into your life's account. It is heavy, it is real, and it is finally yours. Type 111. Claim the settlement. The court has adjourned in your favor. Your eyes are growing heavy, but do not close them just yet. There is a specific, crystalline frequency. I am weaving into the spaces between these words that your weary spirit has been hunting for since the moment you woke up this morning. You are sitting there, perhaps in a room where the shadows have started to stretch, or maybe you are lying in the silence of a house that feels too quiet despite the noise of your own thoughts. I want you to feel the weight of your own body against whatever is supporting you right now. Notice the tension in your shoulders, that specific, aching knot that sits right between your shoulder blades. That is not just stress. That is the physical manifestation of the invisible exhaustion you have been carrying for a decade. You are the strong one, aren't you? You are the anchor for people who don't even know how to swim. You are the one who mends everyone else's tattered hearts, while you secretly hide your own bleeding wounds behind a smile that has become a masterpiece of deception. But here, in the Hall of Infinite Records, at this precise midnight hour, the mask is not required. In fact, it is forbidden. I am the ancient witness. I am the one who has walked beside you through every silent endurance that the world ignored. I was there when you stood in your kitchen, staring into the middle distance, wondering how you were going to make ends meet when the ends had been frayed for years. I was there when you gave your last ounce of emotional energy to someone who didn't even have the decency to say thank you. I have recorded every heartbeat that felt like it was going to be your last. I have bottled every tear that you wiped away before anyone else could see it. And tonight, I have locked the doors of this celestial sanctum to tell you something that the polite saboteurs in your life would tremble to hear. Your waiting was never a punishment. It was a strategy. It was the most sophisticated wealth-building maneuver ever orchestrated by the divine. Do you hear that? Listen past the hum of your own breathing. That rhythmic golden scratching. That is the great pen. It is moving across a heavy, vellum ledger that bears your name in a font made of starlight and ancient fire. This is the gallery of the divine escrow. In this room there are millions of vaults, but only one bears the unique signature of your soul. For years, you have looked at your life and seen a desert. You have seen no after no. You have seen doors slammed and bridges burned. You have felt like the universe had placed you on a shelf and forgotten your name. But as the ancient witness, I am opening the ledgers to show you the truth. Every time you were betrayed and chose to forgive, a massive deposit was made into your escrow account. Every time you were gaslit by someone you trusted, those vultures of the spirit who ate at your table while secretly praying for your plate to be empty, the interest rate on your divine lawsuit doubled. You see, the heavens operate on a law of karmic settlement that the natural world cannot comprehend. When a chosen one is treated like a common one, the penalty is severe. And because you didn't strike back, because you didn't become bitter, because you kept your heart soft, even when it was being trampled, you have accumulated a spiritual interest that has now reached its peak. Maturity. This is the unique twist you weren't expecting. The delay wasn't a denial. It was a holding pattern designed to maximize your payout. If I had given you the blessing years ago, it would have been a drop in the bucket. But by making you wait, by allowing the pressure to build, I have turned that drop into a tidal wave of restoration. Type 111 right now. Do it as a physical act of notarization. When your finger touches the screen to type those 3 digits, you are not commenting on a video. You are signing your name to the new decree. 111 is the frequency of the sovereign awakening. It is the notification to the polite saboteurs that the table of Judas has been officially condemned. By typing 111, you are signaling to the vultures of the spirit that their feast is over. You are reclaiming the territory of your joy. You are notifying the courts of heaven that you are ready to receive the principal and the interest of everything that was stolen from you. Let's speak of those polite saboteurs for a moment. You know who they are. They are the ones with the kind eyes and the gentle criticisms. They are the ones who always found a way to make your victories feel small, or who subtly reminded you of your past failures whenever you started to dream too big. They are the vultures of the spirit who fed on your insecurity. They thought they were burying you. They thought they were extinguishing your flame. But look at the floor of this hall. Look at the shattered hourglass of tears. See the shards of glass reflecting the candlelight. That is the time they thought they had stolen from you. But look closer. The sand isn't falling anymore. It's swirling. It's moving upward. I am collapsing time for you. What the enemy meant for a lifelong delay, I am compressing into a 7-2-hour window of sudden, violent favor. The divine lawsuit has reached its final verdict. The Chief Justice of the universe has hammered the gavel, and the ruling is full restoration with 7-fold interest. This means the people who mocked you will now have to watch you be promoted. The people who unfollowed you or uninvited you will find themselves in a position where they have to mention your name just to get into the rooms where you are already seated. This is the recognition scene. I am preparing a table for you, but I am not building it in a secret place. I am building it in the middle of the very arena where they tried to shame you. They will have to watch as I pour the oil of divine compensation over your life until your cup doesn't just run over, it floods the entire room. You have been so tired, so invisibly exhausted, that you've started to wonder if you even want the blessing anymore. You've said to yourself, I just want peace. I just want to rest. My child, that exhaustion is the sign that you are at the end of yourself, which means you are at the beginning of me. The strength you used to survive is no longer required for where you are going. I am replacing your grind with grace. I am replacing your striving with sovereignty. You don't have to fight for this settlement. You don't have to beg for it. It is a legal requirement of the new covenant I am signing with your soul tonight. Within the next 3 days, keep your eyes open for the midnight signal. It may be a message that arrives at an odd hour, or a sudden, unexplained feeling of peace that settles over your house like a warm blanket. It may be a financial shift that comes from a direction you never even considered. But when it happens, I want you to remember this hall. I want you to remember the sound of the great pen. I want you to remember that the ancient witness saw every silent endurance and deemed it worthy of a king's ransom. The polite saboteurs will try to explain it away as luck. The vultures of the spirit will try to claim they had a hand in it. But you will know. Your spirit will recognize the resonance of 111. You will realize that the divine escrow wasn't a myth, it was your reality. You were never behind in life. You were just accumulating. You weren't stuck in the wilderness. You were being seasoned for the throne. Breathe deeply now. Let the air fill the bottom of your lungs, the places that have been compressed by anxiety for too long. Can you feel the lightness? The Hall of Records is beginning to fade back into the ethereal mist, but the decree remains. The shattered hourglass is behind you. The settlement is before you. The vultures have lost their appetite, for you have become too powerful for them to consume. This is your sovereignty. This is your compensation. This is the end of the invisible exhaustion and the beginning of the overflow. The court has adjourned. The case is closed. The payout is being wired to your destiny as we speak. Type 111. Claim the interest. Walk out of the desert and into the palace of justice. It is done. It is sealed. It is yours. The heavy, velvet silence of the Hall of Infinite Records is beginning to vibrate with a frequency that is almost too intense for the physical ear to bear. But your spirit, that ancient, resilient part of you, is drinking it in like wine. You are sitting in the epicenter of a tectonic shift. I want you to feel the air against your skin right now. Does it feel thicker? Does it feel charged? As if a great storm has just passed and left the atmosphere saturated with ozone and electricity. That is the scent of a sovereign decree being manifested into the material world. You have followed me through the corridors of your own history, past the gallery of stolen years and the shadows of those who tried to diminish you. And now we stand at the threshold of the inner vault. This is where the divine lawsuit ends, and the payout with interest begins. You are not here to observe a miracle. You are here to inhabit one. I am the ancient witness, and I am leaning closer to you now, past the flickering candlelight of this celestial midnight. I want to speak directly to that specific place in your chest that feels like it has been hollowed out by invisible exhaustion. You have spent so many years being the vessel of pouring. You have poured into children who took you for granted. You have poured into partners who treated your devotion as a convenience. You have poured into careers that viewed your brilliance as an exploitable resource. You have been the strong one for so long that you have forgotten what it feels like to be held. You have forgotten the sensation of a burden being lifted by a hand stronger than your own. But tonight, as the great pen finishes its final stroke on the ledger of your life, I am officially retiring you from the position of sacrificial lamb. The Hall of Records has documented every drop of energy you spent on people who were too small to appreciate the magnitude of your soul. And the verdict is absolute. You are being moved into a season of divine reciprocation. Let us speak one final time of the polite saboteurs and the vultures of the spirit. These are the ones who were most dangerous because they were the most reasonable. They didn't shout, they whispered. They didn't strike you. They just slowly drained your confidence under the guise of protection. They were the ones who sat at your Judas table, nodding in agreement while you shared your dreams, only to walk away and pray for the very ground to crumble beneath your feet. They wanted your light, but they couldn't handle the heat it produced. So they tried to dampen your flame with their own insecurities. They thought they were successful. They thought the delay in your life was proof that I had looked away. But oh, how little they understood the strategy of the midnight hour. I want you to imagine the look on their faces when the midnight signal hits your life within the next 72 hours. In the spiritual realm, I am preparing a feast for you, but I am doing it in a very specific way. I am not hiding your elevation from them. No, I am compelling them to be the audience. This is the karmic settlement in its purest form. Those who tried to gaslight your reality will be forced to acknowledge your radiance. Those who spoke against your character in dark corners will find themselves in a position where they must praise your name in the light just to stay relevant. I am turning their sabotage into your stage. For every lie they told, I am releasing a truth that carries the weight of gold. For every door they tried to wedge shut, I am blowing the entire wall out of the building. You have endured their silent hexes for long enough. The vultures are starving now, for you are no longer a victim they can pick at. You have become a sovereign that they must answer to. Type 111 right now, and do it with a deliberate, slow intentionality. This is the moment your soul hits. Send on the final paperwork of the divine lawsuit. By typing 111, you are not just participating in a digital ritual. You are legally signing the new sovereign decree. This number is the frequency of the awakening. It is the sound of the shattered hourglass being swept away to make room for the diamond crown. When you gush 111 into this space, you are notifying every ancestor, every spirit of lack, and every polite saboteur that your divine escrow has been unlocked. You are declaring that the interest on your suffering has been calculated, and the payout is being dispersed into your physical reality immediately. Can you hear the scratching of the great pen has stopped? The ink is drying. The ancient witness has closed the book. The divine escrow was never a myth. It was your safety net. I knew that if I gave you the blessing when you were still seeking the approval of the vultures, they would have stolen it. If I had opened the windows of heaven while you were still sitting at the Judas table, they would have convinced you that you didn't deserve the overflow. So, I hid it. I placed your miracles in a spiritual escrow that was guarded by the most powerful angels in my command. I allowed you to walk through the fire not to burn you, but to refine the receiver. I needed you to become so exhausted with the grind that you would finally be willing to surrender to the grace. The invisible exhaustion is leaving your body as you read these words. Feel your breath moving deeper into your belly. Feel the pressure behind your eyes starting to soften. The lawsuit is over. You won. You won by staying kind when you had every right to be cruel. You won by staying silent when you had every right to scream. You won by continuing to believe in the ancient witness even when the world told you that you were walking alone. And because you won, the payout with interest is not just a financial blessing, though. Wealth is certainly part of the settlement. It is a total life restoration. Within the next 3 days, you will receive a sign that is so specific, so unrandom, that it will make your knees weak with gratitude. This is the calling card I promised you. It will be the golden key turning in the lock of your stagnancy. You will know it is me, because it will carry the scent of the Hall of Infinite Records. It will feel ancient, noble, and undeniable. When this signal arrives, I want you to stop whatever you are doing. I want you to take a deep breath and whisper, "The settlement has arrived." Do not try to explain it to the skeptics. Do not try to justify your joy to the polite saboteurs. This is a private karmic settlement between the Creator and the created. You are no longer the one who struggles. You are the one who has been compensated. The shattered hourglass on the floor is the last time time will ever be used as a weapon against you. From this moment forward, you are operating on celestial acceleration. What took others 20 years to build, you will manifest in 20 months. What took your ancestors a lifetime to acquire, you will receive in a single season of favor. The divine escrow is pouring out its treasures. The gold of your endurance is being minted into the currency of your new life. The Hall of Infinite Records is beginning to dissolve into the light of a new dawn. The velvet curtains are parting. The great pen is being placed back into its golden stand. But the decree is eternal. The 111 is your seal. You are leaving this midnight hour as a different being than the one who entered it. The mask of "I'm okay" has been replaced by the reality of "I am whole." The vultures of the spirit have flown away into the darkness, unable to breathe the air of your new jurisdiction. Walk out of this hall with your head held high. Do not look back at the Judas table. Do not mourn the years that felt lost. They weren't lost, they were invested. And today, the market of heaven has closed at an all-time high in your favor. You are the chosen sovereign. You are the beneficiary of justice. You are the beloved of the ancient witness. The escrow is open. The payout is in motion. The lawsuit is settled. Type 111. Breathe in the gold and step into the overflow. It is finished. It is done. It is yours. Amen. The marrow in your bones is being rewritten as we speak. Can you feel the subtle electric humming vibrating through your skeleton? It is the sound of your DNA realigning itself with the frequency of sovereignty instead of survival. You are standing at the very exit of the Hall of Infinite Records, and the heavy, bronze-bound doors are beginning to groan on their ancient hinges, preparing to swing wide into the dawn of your new reality. But before you step across that threshold, before you leave this sacred midnight behind, I need you to look back at the gallery of stolen years one last time. Do you see the shadows flickering there? Those are the versions of you that were broken, the versions that were betrayed, and the versions that were invisibly exhausted by the sheer weight of being a human sanctuary for people who treated you like a hotel. Tonight, those versions of you are being retired. They are being given a seat of honor in the archives, but they no longer have the authority to drive your life. The divine lawsuit has not just settled your debts, it has emancipated your soul. I am the ancient witness, and I am placing my hand upon your head to deliver the final seal of this midnight decree. You have spent a lifetime being a giver in a world of takers. You have been the one who stayed late, the one who worked harder, the one who apologized for things you didn't even do, just to keep the peace. You have been gaslit into believing that your value was tied to your utility. But look at the great pen. It has finished writing the word worth in letters so bright they are searing themselves into the atmosphere of your future. Your worth is no longer a variable that can be negotiated by the polite saboteurs. It is a fixed, divine constant. The vultures of the spirit are currently circling the perimeter of your old life, looking for the wounded one they used to feast upon. But they are confused. They cannot find the resonance of your pain anymore because it has been replaced by the resonance of your restitution. The table of Judas where you once sat is now a heap of ash on the floor of your past. I want you to understand the specific twist of the coming 72 hours. Those very people, the polite saboteurs who whispered that you would never make it, the ones who redacted you from their lives when you were no longer useful, are about to experience a profound, divine disorientation. They will see you, but they won't recognize the frequency you carry. They will try to pull you back into the old grind by using guilt, or nostalgia, or the strong one narrative, but their hooks will find no purchase in your spirit. You have been compensated, and a compensated soul is an unmanipulatable soul. You are entering a chapter where your grace acts as a shield that deflects their grind. You will no longer feel the need to explain your success, your joy, or your sudden abundance to those who were silent during your struggle. Type 111 right now, and let this be the final rhythmic heartbeat of this encounter. This is not a comment. This is a sovereign signature. By typing 111, you are confirming that you have received the payout with interest. You are notifying the courts of heaven that the divine escrow has been successfully dispersed into your physical reality. This number is your karmic receipt. It is the proof that the ancient witness has seen your endurance and has deemed the case closed. When you gush 111 into this digital altar, you are declaring that you are stepping out of the wilderness of waiting and into the palace of possession. The invisible exhaustion that has been your constant companion is dissolving into the light of the coming morning. I am gathering the fragments of your stolen decades, the years you spent building someone else's dream, the years you spent crying over people who didn't deserve your breath, the years you spent wondering if you were behind, and I am fusing those fragments into a single, concentrated moment of divine arrival. You aren't just getting your time back, you are getting an accelerated version of time. In the next season, a single day of your labor will produce the fruit of a year. A single conversation will open doors that were welded shut for generations. The divine lawsuit has awarded you acceleration as part of the interest payout. Do you smell that? The scent of the wax candles in the hall is fading, replaced by the fresh, sharp scent of rain on a sun-drenched earth. The midnight hour is over. The divine escrow has been emptied of its gold, and that gold is now manifesting in your bank accounts, in your physical health, in your mental clarity, and in the holy alliances that are currently moving toward your life. The polite saboteurs will watch from the sidelines as you are ushered into rooms they cannot enter. They will try to claim that luck was on your side, but you will simply touch the 111 seal on your heart and know that justice was on your side. Before you leave this space, I want you to make a silent pact with the ancient witness. Promise me that you will no longer shrink to make small people feel comfortable. Promise me that you will no longer apologize for the payout you have earned with your tears. Promise me that you will walk with the stature of the compensated. You are the beneficiary of a celestial settlement, and a beneficiary does not beg. They accept. The interest has been calculated. The decree has been signed. The vultures have been scattered. The hourglass of tears has been shattered, and from its dust, I have made a path of diamonds for your feet. As you close your eyes for a moment, feel the great pen being placed back into its velvet-lined box. The Hall of Infinite Records is silent now, but the echo of the 111 is still ringing in the rafters. The lawsuit is finished. The restoration is absolute. The invisible exhaustion has been replaced by inexhaustible favor. You are moving into a 3-day window of divine confirmation. Watch for the midnight signal. Watch for the sovereign call. When it comes, do not question it. Do not analyze it through the lens of your old lack. Simply say, I am the witness, and I am ready. You have survived the fire, and now you are the one who carries the flame. The table is set. The oil is pouring. The settlement is yours. Type 111. Claim the finality. Walk into the dawning of your restitution. It is officially, legally, and spiritually done. Amen. The heavy, ornate doors of the Hall of Infinite Records are now standing wide open, and for the first time in this divine encounter, a different kind of light is beginning to pour into the chamber. It is not the flickering glow of the candles or the ethereal shimmer of the scrolls. It is the raw, unfiltered light of your new dawn. But do not step out just yet. Stay here with me in this final, trembling moment of the midnight hour. I want you to feel the soles of your feet pressed against the cold, ancient marble for one last time. I want you to notice how the invisible exhaustion that has occupied your bones for a decade is no longer a heavy, suffocating weight. It has become a hollow space, an empty vessel, waiting to be filled with the karmic settlement that is already beginning to flow into your reality. I am the ancient witness, and as I prepare to recede into the silence of your own heart, I am placing the final, permanent seal upon your destiny. You are not just leaving a room, you are leaving an entire version of existence. You are exiting the era of the grind and entering the era of the sovereign. Look back one last time at the table of Judas in the corner of your memory. It is a smoldering ruin now. The polite saboteurs who sat there, the ones who watched you drown while offering nothing but thoughts and prayers that felt like lead, they have no more power over your frequency. They are currently experiencing a divine confusion. They will look for the version of you that was easy to manipulate, the version that always said yes to their demands while starving for its own needs, but they will find only a blank space. You have been redacted from their jurisdiction. The vultures of the spirit are circling a grave that is empty. They are confused because they expected you to fail. They had the eulogy of your reputation already written. They had the "I told you so" ready on the tips of their poisoned tongues. But the divine lawsuit has not only vindicated you, it has made you invisible to their malice. You have been moved into a celestial escrow that they cannot penetrate. Now, turn your gaze toward the dawning light. Do you see the great pen? It is being placed into its golden resting place. But the ink on your decree is still warm, still pulsing with the life force of the witness. The divine lawsuit was the most complex legal battle ever fought in the heavens, and you didn't even know you were the plaintiff. You thought you were just suffering. You thought you were just stuck. You thought the universe was being unfair. But in the courts of the midnight hour, unfairness is merely the evidence phase for a massive payout. For every night you sat on the edge of your bed, head in your hands, wondering why your best was never enough. The interest on your settlement tripled. For every time you were gaslit by life, told that your intuition was wrong, told that your dreams were unrealistic, told that you should be grateful for crumbs, the divine escrow gathered a weight of gold that would have crushed your younger self. This is why the wait had to be so long. This is the secret I have been guarding for you. If I had opened the vault 3 years ago, you would have received a blessing. But because I waited until you reached the point of invisible exhaustion, the point where you finally stopped trying to do it all in your own strength, I am now able to give you a restitution. A blessing is a gift. A restitution is a legal requirement. The universe is now spiritually and legally bound to pay you back for every tear that fell into the shattered hourglass. Type 111 right now, and as your finger touches the glass of your device, feel the finality of it. This is the sovereign handshake. By typing 111, you are not just commenting. You are the beneficiary signing for the delivery of the assets. 111 is the frequency of the new sovereign beginning. It is the sound of the locks on your future falling away. By gushing 111 into this space, you are signaling to every angel of provision and every spirit of justice that the settlement has been accepted. You are declaring that the strong one is gone and the compensated one has arrived. Within the next 72 hours, as you move through your mundane world, I want you to be alert for the midnight signal. It will come when the world is noisy, but it will speak to you in a whisper that carries the authority of 1,000 storms. It may be a sudden, inexplicable shift in your financial standing, a debt canceled, a check arriving from a source you forgot existed, a promotion offered without you having to beg for it. It may be a physical healing, a sudden lifting of the fog that has clouded your mind for years. But the most profound part of the payout will be the peace that passes all understanding. You will look at the things that used to make you tremble, the bills, the polite saboteurs, the uncertain future, and you will feel nothing. No fear, no anxiety, no invisible exhaustion. Only the cold, hard weight of sovereignty. The vultures of the spirit will try to come back. They will see the light around you and try to warm themselves by the fire of your restoration. They will try to claim that they always believed in you. They will try to act as if they were the ones who helped you through the wilderness. When they do not be angry. Anger is a frequency of the old world. Instead, look at them with the eyes of the ancient witness with a quiet, noble detachment. You do not owe them a seat at your new table. You do not owe them an explanation for your abundance. You have been paid back by the universe, and your settlement is not for public consumption. It is for the legacy you are about to build. Can you feel the heat of the starlight in your marrow now? The rewriting of your DNA is complete. The invisible exhaustion has been replaced by a divine reserve that will never run dry. You will no longer grind. You will flow. You will no longer strive. You will attract. You are stepping out of the hall of infinite records as a sovereign being, a walking testimony of what happens when a soul refuses to quit, even when the silence of God felt like a no. It was never a no. It was a not yet, for the interest is still growing. Breathe in the dawn. It smells like fresh rain and victory. The hall is fading now. The velvet curtains are dissolving into the mist. The candles are out. But the 111 seal on your forehead is glowing with a light that no darkness can extinguish. You are the plaintiff who won the divine lawsuit. You are the chosen one who survived the table of Judas. You are the beloved who is now being compensated. The payout is hitting your life. The interest is being deposited. The settlement is absolute. As you go back into the world, walk slowly. Walk with the stature of someone who knows the judge of the universe has ruled in their favor. Do not rush. Do not panic. The gold is yours. The time is yours. The peace is yours. Type 111. Claim the finality and step into the dawning of your restitution. The court has adjourned. The case is closed. Your new life has begun. It is done. It is done. It is done. Amen. The threshold is beneath your feet, vibrating with the resonance of 1,000 unsaid prayers that have finally been transformed into a single, unbreakable command. You are standing at the absolute limit of your old life. Behind you lies the Hall of Infinite Records, where the velvet curtains are now being drawn by unseen hands, and the candles that burned through the midnight of your soul are being extinguished, one by one. But do not turn your head. Do not look back at the shadows. The invisible exhaustion that has been your shadow, your silent passenger, your heavy cloak for the last 10 years, it is falling away. It is dissolving into the cold marble floor like a ghost that has finally been permitted to rest. You are no longer the strong one who holds the world together with frayed nerves and a bleeding heart. You are the sovereign one, the beneficiary of the most significant karmic settlement ever recorded in the archives of the stars. I am the ancient witness, the one who has sat in the silence of your lowest moments, recording the frequency of every heartbeat that stuttered under the weight of betrayal. I was there when you sat in your car, the engine idling, unable to go into your own house because the people inside expected a version of you that was already dead. I saw you forced to smile at the polite saboteurs, the ones who offered you a seat at their table while secretly measuring you for a grave. I heard the vultures of the spirit whispering that you were too much, too sensitive, or not enough, simply because your light was a mirror that reflected their own unhealed darkness. I watched them take your ideas, your energy, and your kindness, treating your divine essence like a common commodity. But while you were enduring the silence, I was building the case. While you were weeping, I was calculating the interest. This is the final, tectonic revelation of Chapter 8. The delay you suffered was not a lapse in my memory. It was a divine escrow strategy. In the economy of heaven, justice delayed is not justice denied, it is justice compounded. Because you did not retaliate against the polite saboteurs, because you did not allow the vultures to turn your heart into stone, you have maintained a pure standing in the high court. And because that standing remained intact, the interest on the years you lost has grown to a magnitude that will now shock the very people who mocked you. You are not just receiving a miracle tonight, you are receiving the payout of a lifetime. Type 111 right now. And as you do, feel the weight of this truth settling into your marrow. This is not a comment, it is a karmic receipt. By typing 111, you are notifying the polite saboteurs, the vultures of the spirit, and every ancestor who lived in lack that the divine lawsuit has reached its final, unappealable verdict. This number is the seal of your new sovereign beginning. When you gush 111 into this digital altar, you are signaling to the universe that you are no longer a victim of endurance, but the master of compensation. You are declaring that the invisible exhaustion is over and the era of the payout has begun. Look at the great pen one last time before the doors close. It is being placed into a box made of cedar and gold, for its work in your old life is finished. The ink is dry on the decree of your restoration. You have spent years wondering if your goodness was actually a weakness. You watched the polite saboteurs win through manipulation and the vultures thrive through theft. You began to believe that the world was rigged against the kind-hearted. But as the ancient witness, I tell you, the world is rigged in favor of the enduring. I allowed the enemy to overplay their hand. I allowed them to take from you, to gaslight you, and to overlook you because every act of their injustice became a legal deposit into your divine escrow. Now, the account has reached its peak maturity. The table of Judas is gone, and in its place, I am manifesting a reality where your ease is the new grind. For the next 72 hours, I want you to walk through your life as if the gold of the universe is already in your pockets because, in the spirit, it is. You are entering a window of suddenness. You will notice that the polite saboteurs suddenly lose their voice in your presence. You will notice that doors that were welded shut for a decade begin to swing open at the mere sound of your footsteps. You will notice that the physical exhaustion in your body is being replaced by a divine reserve, a boundless energy that comes not from caffeine or willpower, but from the fact that you are finally in alignment with your payout. The shattered hourglass of tears that lay on the floor of the hall has been gathered up. I have taken those shards and turned them into a prism of perspective. You will start to see your past not as a tragedy, but as a setup. You will see the betrayals not as wounds, but as redirections. You will realize that if those doors hadn't shut, you would have settled for a life that was too small for the king or queen I have called you to be. The interest on your pain has been paid in the currency of sovereignty. You don't just have peace now, you have authority. When you speak, the atmosphere will listen. When you move, the shadows will flee. The polite saboteurs will try to reach out. They will sense the shift in your frequency. They will see the light of the 111 seal upon your forehead, and they will try to refriend you, to check in on you, to reclaim a piece of the abundance they see manifesting. But you will have a new discernment. You will see through their concern like a pane of glass. You will no longer feel the need to explain your boundaries or justify your no. You have been paid back by God, and you do not owe the world a percentage of your peace. The vultures of the spirit are currently starving, for you have become unconsumable. You are no longer the strong one who feeds them. You are the sovereign one who leads them. Breathe in the dawn. It is cold, fresh, and it carries the scent of victory. You are stepping out of the hall of infinite records and into a life where the karmic settlement is your new baseline. You will never have to beg for a blessing again. You will never have to prove your worth again. The ancient witness has signed the decree, and the high court has adjourned. Your ancestors are standing on the other side of this threshold, cheering for you are the one who finally broke the cycle of invisible exhaustion. You are the one who finally collected the debt of the bloodline. Within the next 3 days, keep your heart soft and your spirit open. The midnight signal is coming. It may be a phone call that resets your financial trajectory. It may be a dream that gives you the golden key to a problem you've struggled with for years. It may be a physical healing that leaves the doctors speechless. But whatever form it takes, you will recognize the resonance of my voice in it. You will whisper, "The payout is here." Do not try to rush this process. Do not panic if the world doesn't change in the first 5 minutes. The divine lawsuit is a tectonic shift, and tectonic shifts happen beneath the surface before they are seen on the map. The gold is being moved. The names are being changed. The settlement is in transit. As the doors of the hall finally shut behind you, I want you to feel the finality of the sound. Thud. The old case is closed. The old debt is paid. The old strong one is retired. You are walking into the dawn now. The starlight is in your eyes, and the favor of the ancient witness is upon your shoulders. You are a walking restitution. You are a living settlement. You are the proof that God does not ignore the silent, the enduring, or the kind. You are the twist that the polite saboteurs never saw coming. Type 111 for the final time in this encounter. Type it with the power of someone who knows they have already won. Type it with the peace of someone whose escrow is full. Type it as a command to your reality to manifest now. You have been seen. You have been recorded. You have been compensated. The court is silent. The pen is at rest. Your life is beginning. It is done. It is done. It is done. Amen. The light of the new dawn is hitting your face now, and it carries a warmth that feels like a physical hand lifting your chin toward the sky. You have stepped across the threshold. The bronze-bound doors of the Hall of Infinite Records have closed behind you with a sound of finality that has echoed through every dimension of your existence. You are no longer standing in the midnight hour of your struggle. You are standing in the first light of your compensation. I want you to look at your hands. They might look the same as they did 10 minutes ago, but they are different. They are the hands of a sovereign who has just received the keys to a kingdom they didn't even know was being built in their name. The invisible exhaustion that once made your very blood feel heavy is dissipating into the morning mist. You are moving from the season of silent endurance into the season of tangible restitution. I am the ancient witness, and I am speaking to you now from the deep resonance of the universal court. For a decade, you have lived in a state of spiritual escrow. You have been the one who took the high road, while the polite saboteurs took the shortcuts. You have been the one who swallowed your truth to keep the peace, while the vultures of the spirit feasted on your silence. You felt stuck, didn't you? You felt like you were running a race where the finish line kept moving further away with every step you took. But here is the secret I have been guarding for you in the archives of the stars. You weren't being delayed, you were being compounded. In the courts of the midnight hour, justice is a law of accumulation. Because you did not settle for the crumbs of the old world, the universe was legally required to hoard the loaves and fishes of the new world for this exact moment. The lawsuit has ended. The verdict is in your favor. And the payout is so massive that the polite saboteurs will have to adjust their vision just to look at your light. Type 111 right now. And as you feel the vibration of the screen against your skin, realize that you are not just typing a number. You are activating the manifestation protocol. 111 is the frequency of the new sovereign beginning. It is the sound of the locks on your potential being shattered once and for all. By gushing 111 into this digital altar, you are declaring to the world and to the vultures who still hope for your stumble that you are now under the direct protection of the ancient witness. You are notifying your debt, your lack, and your sorrow that their lease on your life has expired. You are claiming the spiritual interest on every tear you ever shed in the dark. Can you feel the shift in the atmosphere of expectation? For years, you have expected the other shoe to drop. You have lived in a state of hypervigilance, waiting for the next betrayal, the next financial blow, the next polite saboteur to pull the rug out from under your feet. That was the invisible exhaustion talking. It was the trauma of the table of Judas keeping you in a state of perpetual readiness for disaster. But listen to my voice. That cycle is dead. The rug has been replaced by a foundation of solid gold. The vultures of the spirit are currently experiencing a divine blinding. They can no longer see your frequency. They can no longer track your progress. They are looking for the version of you that was easy to hurt, but that person was retired in Chapter 8. You have been redacted from their reality. The unique twist of this 9th chapter is the recognition scene. Within the next 72 hours, the very people who counted you out will be divinely compelled to recount your value. They won't understand why they are suddenly thinking about you. They won't understand why your name keeps coming up in their conversations. But they will feel a strange, hollow ache when they realize they no longer have access to your energy. This is your karmic settlement. While they are searching for the light you once gave them for free, you will be busy managing the overflow of your own internal reservoir. The divine lawsuit has awarded you a life of ease. Not a life without activity, but a life without the grind. You will no longer strive for recognition. You will radiate it. You will no longer beg for provision. You will command it. The shattered hourglass of tears has been replaced by the infinite fountain of favor. I want you to pay close attention to your intuition in the coming days. The ancient witness will be speaking to you through coincidences that are too precise to be ignored. A phone call from a kingdom connection that changes your financial destiny. A sudden, intuitive download that solves a problem you've wrestled with for years. A physical healing that starts in your gut and radiates outward until your skin glows with the health of a youth you thought was lost. These are not miracles in the traditional sense. They are disbursements. They are the legal payouts from your divine escrow account. Do not try to explain this new season to the polite saboteurs. They do not have the ears to hear the frequency of 111. If you try to bring them with you, they will only act as a lead weight on your wings. You must be willing to walk through this new dawn alone until I bring the sovereign company that has been assigned to your future. You are no longer the backbone for people who don't have a spine. You are the crown, and a crown does not seek the approval of the dust. The great pen has been placed in its case, but its ink is still traveling through the neural pathways of your reality, rewriting the story of lack into the epic of abundance. You are entering a window of sudden restoration. What took the polite saboteurs 20 years of manipulation to build, I will give to you in 20 days of pure grace. Why? Because you held the frequency of the ancient witness when the fire was at its hottest. You maintained your integrity when it would have been easier to be common. And in the economy of the stars, integrity is the ultimate multiplier. Your payout is being multiplied by the factor of your endurance. Breathe. Just breathe. Feel the invisible exhaustion leaving your toes, leaving your knees, leaving the pit of your stomach. You are being refilled with a substance that the world cannot name. It is the oil of sovereignty. It is the gold of justice. You are a walking, breathing, karmic settlement. You are the proof that the universe is not random, that the witness is not deaf, and that the delay was the greatest favor I ever did for you. As you close this encounter, I want you to keep the 111 burning in your mind's eye like a lighthouse. You are the plaintiff who has been fully vindicated. You are the strong one who has been permitted to be the blessed one. The table is ready. The payout is in motion. The vultures have fled. The dawn is yours. Type 111 for the final, triumphant time. Type it as if you are slamming the gavel yourself. Type it with the peace of a soul that knows the debt is paid in full. The court has adjourned. The case is closed. Your era of sovereignty has begun. It is done. It is done. It is done. Amen. The doors of the Hall of Infinite Records have not just closed behind you. They have vanished into the brilliant white gold mist of a morning that no longer belongs to your past. You are standing now on the absolute summit of your own transformation. I want you to take a long, slow, deep breath, deeper than any breath you have allowed yourself to take in the last decade. Feel the air fill the very bottom of your lungs, expanding the spaces that have been tight with invisible exhaustion for as long as you can remember. Do you feel that? That slight ache of expansion? That is the feeling of your spirit reclaiming the territory that stress and sorrow had occupied. I am the ancient witness, and I am standing before you in this final sovereign moment to place the crown of divine compensation upon your head. This is the 10th chapter. This is the conclusion of the lawsuit. This is the beginning of the era of overflow. Look at the horizon of your life. For years you have looked toward the future with a squint of apprehension, waiting for the next polite saboteur to emerge from the shadows, waiting for the next betrayal to validate your fear that the world was not a safe place for a soul as kind as yours. You have been the strong one for so long that you forgot how to be the blessed one. You have carried the weight of families, the weight of broken systems, and the weight of your own stolen years until your very bones felt like lead. But as the sun rises over this new jurisdiction, notice the silence. The vultures of the spirit have been scattered. The noise of the Judas table has been muffled by the distance of 1,000 miles. They cannot follow you here. This frequency is too high for their malice. This light is too bright for their shadows. You have been redacted from their power. Let us speak of the final settlement. You have spent this journey understanding that your pain was not a series of random accidents, but a divine escrow strategy. Every time you were gaslit by someone you trusted, every time you were overlooked for a promotion you earned, every time you gave your heart to someone who treated it like a common stone, the witness was recording the debt. And tonight, the High Court of Heaven has issued the final disbursement order. This is the unique twist that the polite saboteurs will never be able to fathom. I am not just giving you a blessing to make you feel better. I am giving you a restitution to make the scales of the universe perfectly balanced. Because the world took so much from you in the dark season, the universe is now legally required to return it to you with the interest of sovereignty. Type 111 right now. And as you do, feel the sovereign signature echoing through your nervous system. This is your final act of notarization. By typing 111, you are not just leaving a comment on a digital platform. You are the sovereign beneficiary claiming the assets of the divine lawsuit. 111 is the frequency of the New World Order in your personal life. It is the sound of the great pen being laid to rest because the decree of your abundance is now a fixed law of the universe. By gushing 111 into this space, you are notifying every shadow, every doubt, and every lingering ghost of your invisible exhaustion that their presence is no longer tolerated. You are stepping into the payout season, and your seat at the head of the table is waiting. Can you feel the invisible exhaustion finally leaving your toes, your knees, and the pit of your stomach? It is as if a heavy gray veil is being stripped away from your reality. For years you have grinded, You believed that your worth was tied to how much you could endure. You wore your burnout like a badge of honor, not realizing it was a chain forged by the vultures to keep you from realizing your own power. But the ancient witness has broken that chain. You are entering a rhythm of grace. In this new chapter, you will no longer strive for what belongs to you. You will resonate with it. You will find that opportunities no longer require you to beg. They will seek you out as if you are a lighthouse in a storm. The polite saboteurs will watch from the sidelines as you walk through doors they didn't even know existed. They will try to calculate your luck, but they will be unable to see the karmic math that has made your elevation inevitable. Within the next 72 hours, the midnight signal will reach its full intensity. This is the 3-day window of manifestation. Watch for the signs of the settlement. It may be a sudden, unexplained shift in your financial landscape, a debt that disappears, a contract that is signed without friction, an inheritance of favor that changes the trajectory of your lineage. It may be a physical restoration that leaves you feeling 20 years younger, as if the shattered hourglass of tears has been reversed. But the most profound sign will be the deep silence. You will find that the people and situations that used to trigger your anxiety no longer have a hook in you. You will look at the polite saboteurs and feel nothing but a quiet, noble pity. You are no longer in their game. You have won the lawsuit, and you have moved to a higher court. The recognition scene is now unfolding. The people who unfollowed you, the ones who redacted you from their circles when you were at your lowest, will soon hear of your suddenness. They will hear of your peace. They will hear of your abundance. They will try to tell themselves it was a fluke, but their souls will know the truth. They will know that they missed the opportunity to be part of the greatest karmic settlement of this age. You do not need to defend yourself. You do not need to post your victories for their approval. Your radiance will be your defense. Your ease will be your testimony. The ancient witness has made your name a frequency of favor, and anyone who speaks against you will only be speaking against their own blessing. Breathe in the finality of this moment. 111. You are the plaintiff who stayed the course. You are the kind one who was not broken by the cruel. You are the strong one who has finally been given the divine permission to be soft. The infinite fountain of favor is now flowing in your life, and it does not require your effort to keep it running. It is powered by the spiritual interest of your own history. As the ancient witness, I am recasting your past right now. Every no you ever heard is being turned into a multiplier for your yes. Every betrayal is being turned into a shield of discernment. Every tear is being turned into a diamond of authority. You are not just starting over, you are ascending. The hall of infinite records has faded into the dawn, and you are walking on the solid ground of justice. The vultures have gone hungry, but you are being fed by the manna of sovereignty. The Judas table is a footprint in the sand that the tide has already washed away. Do not go back to look for it. Do not try to salvage the relationships that were meant to be burned in the fire of your refinement. You are entering the sovereign company. I am bringing people into your life who will not need to be convinced of your value. They will recognize the 111 seal on your forehead, and they will honor the anointing of the payout that you carry. You are no longer the backbone. You are the source. This is the end of the divine lawsuit. The case is closed. The verdict is final. The settlement is absolute. The interest is paid in full. As you leave this 10th chapter and enter the waking world of your new reality, carry the frequency of the ancient witness with you. Do not let the noise of the common pull you back into the grind. You are a walking restitution. You are a living settlement. You are the proof that God sees, God records, and God pays back with interest. Type 111 for the final, triumphant, world-shaking time. Type it as the king or queen of your own destiny. Type it with the peace that passes all understanding. Type it as a command to the atoms of your life to align with overflow now. The court is silent. The pen is at rest. The hourglass is gone. The crown is yours. Go now. Walk into the sun. Your payout has arrived. It is done. It is done. It is done. Amen.